Hi, everybody, and welcome to Logged In Live with yours truly, Shaila. And oh man, am I a huge, huge fan of this young lady. I have followed her, I think, from the very beginning of actually, 30 years of my radio career, watching her in Women of Brewster Place. Daisy First Lady May McReady Greenleaf. That's a mouthful. The beautiful Lynn Whitfield is here. Hey!
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. How
You
are
look
you doing?
phenomenal. I am blessed to be talking to you.
Oh, we're blessed to be just able to talk to each other.
Yes, like I said, when I think of you and Oprah, I actually think of Women of Brewster Place, a movie that had Black women dealing with many of the issues that we still deal with today. But there was a united front displayed at the end. And I just thought, with all this going on now in the wake of the George Floyd murder and all the years that you've been seeing protests, have you ever seen any kind of united front like this ever in your life?
I have never in my lifetime seen such a united front. I have
Yeah.
never seen such a united global front.
Yeah.
Uh, with people marching in London for the rights of Black people there, in Brazil, in Berlin, in all
Over.
50 states, all
Yeah.
races, creeds, colors. It's
It
incredible
is.
that it is so sad that it has had to come at the expense of lives.
Right.
That is never okay. But those lives have been taken, and it's up to us not to let it be a sacrifice for nothing. And
Right.
so when I see everyone marching and not letting up, we're coming up on a month now
And still going strong.
of
Yeah.
consistent, that all those young people, millennials and Gen Xers, and, just out there, and elderly people, we're at that point. Enough is enough.
That's right.
And we have got to make our voices heard, because our country is too precious
That's
to go
right.
down the tube like this.
Yeah. And you know what? And it was that kind of connection that I saw at the end of Women of Brewster Place. Is that where the friendship between you and Oprah began?
Well, I think that work was very intimate work between two actresses. Her trying to breathe life back into this character, Oprah's character, into my character, Celia, after losing a child, and then to see the likes of Lynetta McKee, Paula Kelly, Robin Givens,
Stellar
Jack
cast.
Hay,
Mm-hmm.
uh, so many of us uh, out there fighting for a better community,
Mm-hmm.
knocking down those walls. And yes, I hadn't thought of it that way, but all of that was a protest for
Mm-hmm.
equality.
It was.
And that is what we're going through right now.
Absolutely. Now, Oprah said she didn't see anyone else for Lady May but you.
Oh, that's such a compliment, though.
Yeah. Did you feel that way initially too when you saw or read the role?
No, I didn't quite know why they wanted me to play the role,
Mm-hmm.
uh, because at that time, at the very beginning, 3 months before we started shooting, even the role that was written isn't the role that Lady May is now. She
Right.
was much more stern and sour, and just crickety crackety, and, and you know what I mean? I was like,
Right.
well, they said, but no, here we have an opportunity for you to help us build this. We
Right.
want
Right.
to collaborate. Our
Mm-hmm.
writer, um, showrunner Craig Wright was very collaborative, and they really meant it, and Oprah really meant it, and it ended up, being developed into this Southern woman that I could recognize. I
Right.
know women who,
Mm-hmm.
come in a very beautiful, put together
Wrap
package, who are
package.
very
Yeah.
complex and very flawed and
Mm.
very, um, they make mistakes, and
Right.
it's not all filled with joy, but
Mm-hmm.
if you look at them, it looks like they're all put together. And the fact how she speaks, the language that she
Mhm.
uses, and the metaphors that she
Right.
uses that only people in the South can do. You
Well,
know,
it seems like your life was etched into this role because you have a Greenleaf daughter named Grace. Your real life daughter is named Grace as well. And I
yes,
remember you saying that faith and grace were intricate parts of who you are. And did you name your daughter Grace because of that finding? Did,
I named my daughter Grace because I wanted her. They're called names of virtue when you use a
right.
name like Grace or
Hmm.
Faith or Peace. I wanted her to exhibit that, to exhibit grace. And
Hmm.
because of God's grace, I wanted God's grace all over her. And my husband's name was, the last name was Gibson. And so I said, well, Grace Gibson,
Right.
whatever she chooses to do, if it's just be a mom, not just be a mom, but if
Right.
she chooses to be a homemaker and a mother, if she chooses to be an artist, when she walks in a room, they will say, Grace Gibson just got here. And it
Yeah.
just sounded like a name
Real
of a,
regal.
and
Yeah.
a name that where you're supposed to do something with
Right.
that name.
Right.
Well, that's what I tell her anyway.
Right. And
And
also it seems like it's Gigi too. That's
yeah,
another.
well, in high school, they called her Gigi,
Yeah. See, and they called
and we
Gigi
had
on Greenleaf.
a little Bichon Frise, and we named her after Grace, and she was Gigi. So
Wow.
yeah, it was crazy. So then
Yeah.
when I got the script and my daughter's name was Grace, thank God, the relationship I have with my real daughter
Right.
is much different than that
Then,
of my TV daughter.
right.
But
But
so many things, and the fact that I come from the South and
uh-huh.
all of that, there are just many elements that sort of fell into place
It
that
seemed like, yeah, your name was
that gave
etched
me,
into this.
like the platform to kind of know the direction that this woman was supposed to be
Right.
played in.
Are we going to get that kumbaya moment now this season with Greenleaf Grace, or will you continue to sow some discord in the pancreas of her piece?
Well, I mean, I think it's the opposite way.
Because
Yeah, well,
it
I
ain't
think
easy between you and Grace.
you've already started to see that, but now we know that Grace was always, there was a part of her that was a stain on Lady May's poor choices,
Mm,
to act out of her feelings and have an affair, which we often act out of our hurt,
yeah.
and do things that are not wise. So now we understand why Lady May was always uncomfortable, because she was never sure, you know,
Mm,
herself. And then, you always have, there's always somebody in the bunch, be it siblings or friends, that's like, that's not fair. Tell the truth. Just get it out.
right.
You need to, there's always that person just surfing for fairness and the truth. And Grace was that child. So,
Right.
but I think even in season 4, you saw them start to work
Start
together.
to move.
Uh-huh.
But
To
not exactly where we wanted them to be. So I'm hoping that this season is where we get to see them in the place they deserve to be in.
yeah. Oh, look
Yeah.
at you. You look so invested.
I
Your
please
face looks so
ask
sincere.
Merle when she was in the studio. We talked about mother-daughter relationships for maybe about 45 minutes. I'm so invested in this relationship with you and Grace. And now
Y'all.
I believe Greenleaf, this might be the remix season where everybody gets reinvented. Is that what's going to happen this season?
Well, I don't know about reinvented. Certainly, the green leaves are in a very compromised place right now.
Right.
And, the church is supposed to be knocked down when the season opens within days, demolished,
Right.
down to the ground. And it's up to God through them to
Mhm.
try to do something about it. But you've never seen the green leaves where they are now. So I think this season, this final season, you'll see arcs that are believable or realistic or honest. Some the fans will be happy with, some they may not.
Right.
You never know. But we have never veered away from trying to share with our audience through our stories
Right.
truths,
Right.
human truths. So, and they don't all make everybody comfortable.
And Greenleaf has never made us comfortable. At least maybe for about 5 minutes, but then boom, that 6 minute they hit you with something else. But I know you have to go, and we're going to talk on air at WBLS. So I want y'all to join us on air, 107.5 WBLS, and we'll talk in depth. But my last question is, if you could write the last episode of the final season, what would you have us see?
Well, I love these people so much. I think I would write the happiest of endings, to this
Kumbaya,
last.
everybody.
Yeah. And I would write in the final season, in the final episode, in the final moments of that I don't think that Lady May has ever really stepped into the footprint of her purpose. And I would write that she does, as just an individual in the world,
Right.
Because we come in with nothing and we leave with nothing. And in between, it's up to us what we fill it with. And, Lady May became very involved in a lot of things that were uh, perhaps the trimming, the icing, and not the cake. So I would just really have her step into her purpose to see what she should do with the rest of her life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
in service, in career, in forgiveness, in acceptance of who she really is. That would be, for my character, what I would write.
Well, I can say this for sure. You have stepped into the footprint of your purpose, Miss Lynn Whitfield, and you are doing a phenomenal one. We love what you've done with Lady May. I hate that we even have to say goodbye or see this season or this series going up yonder, but it is what it is. And I'm hoping, that it gives us some kind of closure at the end. I hate when, these series ends and you kind of always wonder for the rest of your life, where's Lady May? Did she forgive Bishop? So I'm hoping all those things are answered this season.
Well, they've announced, and they don't know who it's going to be about or what characters will be involved, but they have announced that they're working on a spinoff from Greenleaf. And so surely in a spinoff we'll get more answers, even if characters aren't there. You'll know what became of us.
Yes. Well, and hopefully we'll get to see your beautiful face in it. But tonight, it'll be on, and we'll see your beautiful face once again. You can join us on 107.5 WBLS, and we'll further our conversation with the beautiful, talented, phenomenal woman, Lynn Whitfield. Thank you, everybody, for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Love you.
I'll talk to you later. They said
yes.
1:15.
We'll talk later.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. All right. Mwah.
Bye.
Bye-bye.